What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 11th day of March, and here we are sitting at $1.38 with roughly 8 hours and 13 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it, okay? XRP hasn't done a whole lot in the past month. We've been moving sideways, but I do believe we are about to see some upside come into play. I do believe that we will break out of this range and go toward about $2, if not even just a little bit above there. Oftentimes, before XRP or various cryptos like to make a move up, we do see a little bit of a shakeout, something that scares the market, and then we move up, right? You have the right idea still here that you're going to move up, even if this outcome happens. But it might test your faith, it might test your emotions first, right? Don't get emotional. Let's see if we can look at the short-term stuff and see what the probabilities are, if we can expect a bit of a shakeout first, or if we should just be anticipating the upside in just that. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour time frame here on Coinbase. Got a little bit of volume here. I don't like this. I have to say I don't like this, that we came up like this, had a lot of volume, but we didn't really go anywhere. It was just a lower high, and we probably even found resistance at the golden ratio zone. We didn't even get to the golden ratio zone. Yeah, that looks bearish to me. So XRP probably does come down. If XRP is coming down, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin and maybe various other cryptos are coming down too. Again, this doesn't mean that we're dumping through the floor. It maybe, but we probably just see a little bit of a pullback from here. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI, yeah, finding resistance at the 60. You probably come down. Stochastics finding resistance at the 50. And the MACD looks like you had a false cross to the upside. So lower we go. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Lower does not mean anything terrible. Okay, you're at $1.37.8 right now. Lower could mean $1.36.7, $1.35.8, not even like a 3-cent deficit. Okay, it might mean more than that. We could see maybe $1.29 to $1.25 or lower. I don't think that we're going to go too much lower than that, though. I doubt that we get anywhere near $1. I certainly doubt that we go below $1 before seeing prices above $2. We look at this on a 4 hour basis. And again, we've been moving sideways. We've been finding support here, here, here. Might we come down and find support there again? Maybe a slightly higher low, maybe a slightly lower low, whatever, something like that. It makes sense to me. We look at the RSI. Consistently, you've been finding resistance at this overbought zone, but also consistent with that is that you've been finding higher lows in the RSI overall. So we're going to come down, find a higher low, maybe at the 40 level here, and then attempt to go back to the overbought zone. Potentially, with that attempt, we could see, instead of just a rejection, something that's a little bit more prolonged, something that's a little bit more substantial that can lead to a breakout of this overall range here. That's what we're looking for. So it's probably not going to happen today. Probably doesn't even happen this week, but sometime next week. I think a lot of cryptos are looking geared up to do some good things next week. So that's kind of the expectation, is that next week we should see a little bit of life come into the markets. If not next week, certainly going into the end of the month. The stochastics look bearish. The MACD is useless here. Whatever. Because why is it useless? We're moving sideways and we're choppy. That's why it's useless. Looking at the daily time frame here, the RSI is very neutral, as are the stochastics and the MACD as well. I'm not really getting a whole lot off of that, so we're just in a wait and see kind of moment. My closing thoughts on this here are that we probably do come down a little bit. I'm not personally expecting that we go below this low here at $1.27, but if we do, that's okay. I certainly don't expect that we go below this low here. I'm not expecting that we go anywhere near $1. But if we do, there is a chance that we could see a slightly lower low and we got a double bottom overall. I don't expect that we go below $1 though, if all else fails. Not until later this year at least. But at the moment I am expecting a little bit of a pullback. Maybe we go below $1.32, but I'm not expecting below $1.27. Something in this area for support. And then we will likely recover. Going into next week, we should be breaking out of this range. If not next week, then certainly by the end of the month. And that should send us on a path higher to $2. I do believe that we'll find resistance at $2. That's the expectation that I have in mind. From a high here to a low there, that is just above our golden ratio zone. With that, my expectation would be that maybe we find resistance at the golden ratio first. We come down, we find support, and then we come up here. It's not just going to be a straight shot up, but it will be fought for. Maybe by the end of April, sometime in May, we should be at this $2, $2.20 area. That's my expectation. And then as May continues, as we push on into June, I think we'll start to see the whole market start to kind of tumble back over. We'll start to proceed lower, and we should be finding lower prices than this low in either July or August. That's the expectation I have. I don't have anything else that I want to say. It's a bit of a long-term analysis there with the short-term stuff intermixed. Hit that like button, subscribe. I really appreciate you all for being here. And worst comes to worst, if the worst were to happen, my expectation would be that we see some type of double bottom. But again, my overall expectation from here is we'll probably find support around this low, if not just below this low, yet above this low here. So something in that range between like $1.33, maybe I should say $1.35 to $1.27. There is a chance that we find support even higher than that. But really what I'm trying to say is we're not going to do much. Not going to do much until probably about 5 to 10 days from now. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.